Good morning, Anne.
Good morning, James.
And good morning, everybody. As always, hopefully you are all having a wonderful weekend or a wonderful week whenever it is that you are listening. And here we are, Anne, Sunday morning, another Vibe Sunday podcast episode.
Yes,
Are you happy to begin?
I am.
Fantastic. Where would you like to start this morning?
Thinking about Christmas.
Right, okay, that's
really.
interesting.
I know it seems early to think of Christmas.
Well,
To
I'm
me,
saying it's interesting. It's obvious. Christmas is around the corner, isn't it?
Yes. To me,
Yes.
this is too early.
Right,
Because Christmases
that's interesting.
weren't
That
like
is
this
interesting, okay, yes.
when I was a child.
The 12 days of Christmas.
Yes.
Rather than Christmas since September
Yes,
or something like that.
Nothing at all. It was never even, there was nothing at all about Christmas.
Right.
Until about 2-3 weeks before Christmas.
I understand.
So you weren't even thinking of presents.
Well, that's where we are now.
Yes, but
Yes.
this has been going, like you're saying, it's been in the shop since September.
I know, yes. It's getting earlier and earlier every year,
Yes.
seemingly.
Yeah, and the reason it's getting earlier
Yes.
is for people to make money. Because the earlier it is, the children want the presents.
Yeah.
So, as a child, we didn't have a Christmas list.
No, right.
Like now, children are given lists of what they want for Christmas.
Right.
They can make a list,
Yeah.
or lots
Right,
of them.
a list of
there
Father
was-
Christmas.
When there was such a thing as, what did they have? The Argos catalogue they used to have, I think, didn't they?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Argos still exists now.
It does
but yes,
still
looking
exist,
through the
but
Argos catalogue.
Children used to, I think my grandchildren used to have the Argos catalogue and look through that.
Yeah, and Littlewoods catalogue.
Yes, because
Yeah.
there wasn't anything in the shops before
Yeah.
Christmas. So for myself, Christmas would start just probably a few weeks before, thinking we didn't even have to think what we wanted because we didn't have any choice.
So how old are we talking?
I'm talking now probably about 5, 6, 7.
So young.
Young, yes, young.
Wow. So we're talking about the...
But remember, my dad wasn't there. We had no men.
So this is about 1950, 1951, 1952?
In 1952, I was a lot older than that.
Oh, right, okay. So we're talking 1940...
1946, 1947,
1946, 1947, 1948. Wow.
So that's during...
That's a compliment to
Yes,
you, Anne.
Thank you.
There you go.
So that's during the war and after the war.
It really is, isn't it?
So if you imagine...
It's literally just after the war.
Yeah, just after, literally. But it wasn't over for me because my dad wasn't back until 1947.
You
the
have
war
said,
was
yes.
still going on in other countries. It wasn't finished.
Yes.
It was only finished here.
Yes.
So we didn't have any toys. We used to have a stocking that we put up,
Yes.
and that went over the fire.
Yeah.
And that stocking would have an apple, an orange, a sixpence,
Yes.
old sixpence. It is.
This is on Christmas morning.
It's on Christmas morning.
Did you believe in Father Christmas?
I've always believed in Father Christmas.
Me too.
Isn't he still there?
Absolutely.
I thought he was still
I'm
there.
sorry to even ask. Absolutely.
Yes.
Father Christmas is 100% real.
Yes, of course
Absolutely.
it's real, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the stocking, when we came down, we would
Yeah.
see these stockings, and we would have one present,
Right.
and that present would be a colouring book
Yeah.
and crayons,
Yeah.
and then there would be a game for the family to play a game.
Oh,
That was Christmas.
yeah.
But the main part of Christmas then was food.
Yes.
Because imagine it's
I think the main part now is food, but maybe too much food.
It's not a case of too much food. The point is, food was rationed, still rationed then. So you couldn't get food.
So it genuinely was a luxury.
It genuinely
was a luxury.
Absolutely, 100%. That you sat down and there's a turkey or chicken.
Yeah.
With
Goose.
all the trimmings, yes, goose.
Yeah.
All the trimmings and everything.
So over Christmas, were rations still in?
Yes.
Or was Christmas dinner, people were able to have more than the rations?
We had more. As far as I can remember,
Yeah.
we had more to eat.
Right.
So it's what, on your plate.
Yeah.
But at that age, I wouldn't realise that food had been, kept longer.
Yeah.
Or they'd stored it away so that
Well, you
we could
wouldn't
have
know
a
any different, would you?
wouldn't know
If
any
you were
different.
born during it and were growing up with rations, you wouldn't know it unless somebody had taught you. But even then, you wouldn't know the experience of it being different. It would just be the way life is.
I was always hungry. We were always all hungry.
Did you know you were hungry?
Yeah, of course we knew we were hungry.
Maybe
When you're
that. Sorry, that
hungry-
sounds very ignorant of me. Or that is very ignorant of me.
Of course, when you're hungry, you know you're hungry.
Yeah. Okay.
But when we
Obviously, yeah,
we
okay,
were
obviously.
hungry,
Yeah.
we were hungry because the ration food, had been used up. But
So
bread,
you literally had no food,
literally had no food
nothing to eat.
except
Wow.
bread. There was always bread.
I love bread.
So the bread, and there was always dripping because from cooking the meats and
Yeah.
things, there was dripping.
So you had bread and dripping.
Absolutely gorgeous with plenty of salt on it.
Yeah.
And if we went into friends' houses,
Yes.
and they would give us toast.
I love toast.
So it's why toast is
Yeah.
so comforting. I
It
think
really
even
is,
now for
isn't
me,
it?
Yes. I
There's
love
nothing
toast.
more delicious than buttered hot toast.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Jam on toast, marmalade on toast, honey on toast, cheese on toast, beans on toast, scrambled eggs on toast.
Yes.
Yes.
What you've just said, those are all the things that we were eating during the war.
Comfort food.
Well, it was food.
Food, yeah, food.
It was food. That's
Food,
the main
absolutely.
thing.
But it's comfort food now, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're the sorts of meal, they are the sort of meal that I look forward to the most when I return
Yes.
from holiday or when I've been away somewhere.
Me too, yeah.
It's not a gourmet meal. It's
No.
toast, cheese on toast, or
Yes.
beans on toast, or a bowl. I like my words out. A bowl of tomato soup, and a cheese sandwich, or something like that. Really, really basic, simple.
Because you get fed up, don't you? You get fed up with
Yeah.
eating lots of food.
Soul
And
food.
sauces and things
Simple,
like that.
simple.
Yes. So we would have
Comfort
this.
food.
Yeah. So we would have this Christmas dinner, and always
Yeah.
Christmas pudding.
Yeah,
Somebody would have made a Christmas pudding, or my
Yeah.
grandmother would make Christmas pudding.
yeah,
But that would be made. That would be mixed throughout the year,
right.
so everything would be ready, and it was made a long time before Christmas.
Wow.
And
So it's really, really soaked
so it
in.
was soaked in, rich,
Yeah,
yes.
moist and rich.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it would have. She would put brandy in it
Right.
because they could still get brandy. But
Old school.
Old school, yeah.
Yeah.
That was to keep it, to stop it going off. I don't know what people think the brandy is for when they put them in cake, but that was to stop the fruit and everything going off.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we would have the Christmas
Not just for
pudding.
flavour.
No, it's not. It wasn't for flavour
It's
really.
for preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you have a chili or a curry.
Like
Chilies and curries are because it's a hot country and they didn't have fridges. That would stop food going off.
and salt was often used to keep
Yeah.
meat edible longer.
Yes.
So there
And
you
they'd
go.
hang like they'd hang pheasant.
Yeah.
Imagine how long they would hang a ham.
Right.
And they would eat a ham even if the flies were on it.
Wow. Different times.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So the Christmas would start with you waking up and excited. Had Father Christmas been?
Yeah.
Of course he'd been, and he'd put the stockings up. Then we'd play the games, and somebody would be cooking. My mother and my grandmother. Now, cooking the Christmas dinner was cooked on the fire in
Yeah.
my time because we were poor, so it had to be cooked in the oven on the fire, and with a big pot over the fire itself.
Right.
That was the soup.
Wow, that's so different for the vast majority of
Yes.
people in this country now, and maybe even around the world.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that pot
Yeah.
of stew or soup or broth or whatever you wanted to call
Yeah, yeah.
it,
Is that the pot of everything?
everything. So when you finished the Christmas dinner, if there was anything left on somebody's plate,
Right.
that was just put back into the pot.
So it was literally anything
Literally,
left over.
anything left
Anything and
over.
everything went into that pot.
It went back into it.
I bet you there was nothing as good for you as a bowl of that.
No, marvellous for people.
Yeah.
Absolutely marvellous. Yeah. So, and it was made when it's made. It was made with bones.
Wow, so you would get all of the
The
goodness,
marrow.
the
Marrow
goodness
out
in
of
the
the
bone.
bones,
It
yeah.
would soak out and all the fats, and like you're saying, the marrow.
So whatever you had,
Yeah.
so if you had a chicken or anything else, that was always boiled up, so you could get the goodness out of the bones.
Wow.
So it
Yeah,
makes you understand why people were fit.
Yes.
And the men used to take their food or whatever they were taking in a billy can to work. So there was no such thing now as shops that you could go to eat. In fact, I don't even remember any cafes when I was a child until I got to about 11 when my mother used to take me to the Cardoma Cafe.
The Cardoma
in Manchester.
Cafe. Right.
That was coffee.
I think you've spoken
coffee,
about this,
So
yes.
I've spoken about it before.
Yeah.
So,
That must have been a real treat then. A real treat.
It was posh.
Yeah.
My mother liked to do posh sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your mother was a lady, wasn't
She was
she?
very much a lady, yes.
Yeah.
Not born. She was a born lady. She wasn't bred a lady, but she was born a
Yes.
lady.
And she went to Manchester Grammar.
Yes.
And she was
did.
extremely intelligent.
She was
This is what
excellent,
you
yeah.
told me.
Yes. But fun.
Yes.
Great, great. I'm very lucky. I was brought up in a household of fun.
Yes.
You know, people. And, you know, if you're brought up in a household like that, you grow a thick skin because you have to be able to take it.
Yeah.
And nowadays, lots of people can't take it. They take insults if somebody's laughing at them now, don't they? That's quite sad that somebody, if they think you're laughing at me, there's no
Yeah,
such thing
that's
as
true.
laughing with me anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think we can all be a part of that, taking offence a little bit too quickly.
Yes.
In most cases.
Whereas banter between people
Yeah.
can be quite funny if you're listening to them, and you
Yeah.
can take your breath away.
Yeah.
But those two people know what they're doing.
Yeah. It's a fine line, isn't it? But we've lost that common sense
Yes.
where we're able to, in most cases, distinguish between what you're calling banter
Yes.
and humour and offence.
Yes.
It's gone too far both ways.
So we didn't have a Christmas tree.
Right, okay.
Because
No Christmas tree.
No, there were no trees around where I lived.
Were the Christmas trees in the town or the parks or
No, I don't
like turning on the lights type
No, I
thing?
don't remember anything like the Christmases we have now.
So no
because
Christmas
it was-
cards?
No, there were always there were always
Crackers?
cards. Yes, we had crackers,
Yeah.
but we didn't have decorations like I have now. But we made our own decorations with rings of paper
Yeah.
inside each other and put
Yeah,
those up.
Wow. I know what you mean, yeah.
And then the
Christmas
then
carols?
The Christmas. No, none of us could sing.
Yeah.
And the decorations were those that fold up into. You must have seen them sometime when you were young.
Yeah, yeah.
The ones that fold up and open like the concertina.
All the same shape.
All the same
Yeah.
shape. And my mother had those until probably the 1970s.
What kept them going?
She kept them going and got them out each year.
Yeah.
She never bought new.
That used to be such a ritual. I remember that from my childhood of the Christmas decorations being
Yes.
put up in the loft.
Yeah.
Now that might still happen in the majority of homes, and you get out the Christmas decorations, and there would be new decorations added each year, but there'd be a story to certain decorations, certain baubles, and the fairy or the star or whatever it might be, the angel that was on top of the tree. There would be a story behind different decorations, linked to different members of the family in different times in different houses, and it really was
And it looked a mess.
an experience. The day of decorating the tree
But that's what
and the
I'm saying,
house,
it looked a
it
mess,
really
didn't
was. It wasn't
Because-
perfect.
yeah.
It wasn't Instagrammable.
No, because children...
because we were allowed to put the decorations
Yes.
on and wrap the tinsel around. It was quite tacky, really, I suppose. And
Very.
but
yeah.
people don't go for that now. They go for pristine and
colour
colour coordinated. Silver trees, gold trees, all the baubles colour coordinated. We hung chocolates on the tree as well.
Yeah, yeah. Do you remember? I mean,
And
don't
then,
worry,
and
don't
then I
worry in
ate
your
them
time.
probably
We
a couple
used
of days later.
My mother
Yeah.
used to put candles on, proper candles, and light them.
We didn't do that. We didn't do that. But that's not to say I wouldn't have liked that.
Never.
Yeah.
I don't think it was thought of about a fire, but she used to put the proper candles on
Right, okay.
and light them.
Yeah,
Then
that-
we didn't have electric till I was about 10, so there was candles all around the house.
So it's just another candle then.
It was the tiny ones that you put on trees.
Yeah.
So
I imagine that looked really magical though, with all the candles
Christmas
lit up on the
did
tree.
look magical because it was colour.
Yeah.
My childhood wasn't colourful. When I think about it now, there was no colour in my childhood.
Just rows and rows of red brick terrace.
I can't remember. I don't know if it was red brick, but yeah, of terrace, rows and rows of them.
Yeah.
And full of soot. I don't think they were. I thought they were red because
I think they were originally. I think they were originally red brick.
They might originally have been.
Yeah. Most of Manchester's buildings are red brick. Although you're right, it might not have been, but I think it might have been. And you were saying previously that there weren't trees, or any kind of
only
greenery.
If you went to the park.
Only if you went to the park.
But there was nothing because we didn't have gardens.
Yeah.
We only had backyards, and the toilet was in the backyard.
Yeah. But you did have, which you've spoken about before, which is so wonderful to hear about and so important that we remember it now, a real sense of community.
Yes.
And a sense of generations mixing together and a camaraderie and a real spirit of togetherness.
Yes.
And
nobody was left alone.
a sense of, I was going to say a sense
Ever.
of, it feels like a sense of humanity, a sense of decency and goodness. And a real, and I mean this genuinely and respectfully, a real earthiness, a real sense of salt of the earth community. And that makes my heart glow. And that I feel that people really yearn for that in today's day and age more than ever, is a real sense of earthy community, real people with a real sense of togetherness.
I wonder if that's because it was women, only women, because men were away at war.
That's a really good point, maybe, yeah.
I've only just thought of that, but my childhood was all women, no men.
Maybe that could be. I would imagine that's a definite factor. I don't imagine. I sense that that's a definite factor.
I can remember after the war that when we had male teachers, I was really surprised when a male teacher came in, because all teachers were women, single women, because you couldn't get married like I couldn't.
It used to be a vocation.
Yes.
So you were married to the job.
You were married to the job.
Yeah.
I was married to nursing. I couldn't get married without the matron's permission. She had to give permission for me to get married. Otherwise, I would have had to give up training. But teachers were meant to be single. They were meant to be single. They were told they can't marry, a bit like the church.
I have heard that. That's interesting, isn't it? And is that wrong? It's an interesting question. Is that wrong? It's different.
It's different.
I wouldn't say it's right or wrong either way. It's very different. But
is that why then children weren't like they are now? That children were better behaved. Children are never perfect, but they weren't like they are today in school. You would never give cheek to a teacher in those days ever. You'd never answer back. When they told you to be quiet, you were quiet. That's the difference. So is that
gone
because
now,
that's gone? Yes.
That's completely gone.
Is that because they had dedication to their job, I wonder, and they worked differently?
Maybe yes. Definitely a part of that. Yes.
And in every industry, won't you will have men and women who are cruel in the job.
Yeah.
And that's sad to say, but that does happen in whether it's in anywhere where you're working with children. But most of the time, the women some of them were tough. They were really, really tough.
Yeah.
But most of the time, they have a softer side to them, women, than a man.
Yes, generally, I would say that's true.
Which is why you had women teaching girls.
Empathy.
Now, remember, we weren't taught together.
Yeah.
We were taught separately. No mixed classes.
Yeah.
So the women taught the girls, the men taught the boys. So in a way, is that right? Because a man knows what a boy's doing, a woman knows about a girl's periods and everything else.
Yeah. So it's more appropriate, you're saying. Common sense.
For me, it is. I would like to see that today.
It's different again. It's different. People have different ideas and they are all different. Right and wrong, I suppose it's a question of what's the objective and how effective it is. And so it is subjective in terms of what people think. But maybe more of that would be beneficial. I sense that you're right, to be honest with you. I used to feel differently about it. But the more I've seen it and the more I've been involved in it, the more I feel that more structure, clear, firm boundaries, particularly through school, as life is at the moment, is necessary. In fact, it's vital at this time, because the human mind and children are not mature enough psychologically and emotionally stable enough. People are coming up with very unstable lives.
Yes.
And that's pretty much everybody. So firm, strong boundaries are needed for such vulnerable children. And that's really all children now, and in such a vulnerable world. And people aren't having, in most cases, and I really don't mean this in any judgmental way at all, because I'm including everybody, including myself,
Yes.
that the vast majority of children, and I would say adults as well, our lives feel very unstable, and most people experience emotional turbulence, particularly children, and households are not the most steady environments, are they?
No.
And there's a lot of change within households for various reasons. I do think, therefore, schooling needs to be really, really firm and boundaries really strong, because freedom is a wonderful thing, but it needs to be on steady ground. And the children of today they're not protected, and they're not on steady ground emotionally. And I'm not blaming anybody at all. In very simple terms, we've opened up a point of conversation here. And it's very emotive, and lots of people, you all listening, will have your own ideas about it, I'm sure. But I do feel at this particular time, and probably for a time to come, we're going to have to be very, very firm and strong in education.
Yes.
And I don't mean cruel at all, but very, very clear, firm boundaries with respect very much at the forefront, and bringing a sense of clarity and certainty and consistency and routine, so that children can get some emotional steadiness, and they can learn about themselves and build a sense of trust and have positive, consistent role models in their lives and adults around them that are firm and consistent with them and fair, and that children will gain confidence and emotionally mature and then experience greater freedoms to come in their lives. Again, I suppose ideally put, but it isn't as simple as that, but it's going the other way. There's less and less boundaries in school, less and less consequences, less and less consistency, and children's lives are already like that. And the emotional turbulence, is that a word? Am I saying that right? Turbulence. In my passion and vigour, I'm getting all tongue-twisted and fuddled. Yeah, I'm sure you all know what I mean. There you go. But bringing some stability, that anchor. Children act like they don't want it. We all act like we don't want it, but we all know we do need it. Consistency, fairness, justice, respect.
Can I put a spanner in the works just before we finish?
It would not be like you to do that, Anne.
Well, the spanner in the works for me is...
Of course you can.
I agree with everything you've just been saying, but what I would like to do, because obviously I've been teaching myself, and my daughters work in schools as well.
Yes.
And you have.
Yes.
And I'm not working in the school, so I'm speaking hypothetically in a way. But I see what's going on with the behaviour of children nowadays.
Yes.
In schools. I would say, if a child doesn't want to learn, don't have them in school.
Right.
Because I know they would get so bored at home, they would soon want to come back to school.
Yes.
But unless we set really strong boundaries, that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I would say, if you're going to come in and disrupt the whole of this school, please stay at home and go out and play and do what you like. But when you're ready, we will have you back.
It's a very interesting point, and I would imagine the teachers out there and the head teachers out there would agree with you in principle, or at least be
Yes.
open to thinking of it that way. The law of the land is against that at the moment. So the law is that parents have to send their children to school, and actually are fined if they don't. And schools have to bend over backwards to keep children in school. And that's not always a bad thing, and it's not always, in fact, it's very rarely ever not thinking about the best or for the best of the child as far as any individuals involved in the situation. But it may not be the wisest way to deal with it. And you're opening up another possibility that
Yes.
may well be wiser, but it would require constitutional change as far as, not constitutional change, that's a bit dramatic, legislative change in terms of the law of the land. But that doesn't mean conversations like that can't happen, and such reform to education shouldn't be thought about. Because I do think we do need huge
Massive
education,
change.
massive educational reform,
Yes.
and
So those,
short of an overhaul, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
children are not okay,
No,
and school is not a safe place anymore.
they're not enjoying schools. If you're not
And
doing
teachers will tell you
something-
that
yes.
over and over and over
You
again.
need to enjoy school. You need to have a passion to learn.
Yes.
So make it interesting.
We've ended up on education again.
Yes. Unfortunately, yeah. Well, no, fortunately.
Yeah.
Because
We never know what we're going to discuss, do we, Anne?
No.
So we started off with your memories of Christmas,
Yeah.
which maybe we could end there, and we've
Yes.
found
so,
our way into education and school.
So Christmas was very, very special, and like I say, we didn't have anything, but we were so thrilled to just get that sixpence and nuts. No, that's what I've forgotten. We used to have walnuts that we used to a nutcracker
Yeah.
and sit and no telly,
So you sat around the wireless.
wireless. Yes, we had the wireless.
Did you play cards, dominoes?
Yes,
Tiddlywinks?
we did. Yes, we did play those games. I'm
Yeah.
not a game
Jump rope?
player. Those were outside. Yes,
Play
we
with the
always had
dolls?
skipping. Oh, I love my dolls.
Yeah.
I love playing with my dolls.
Yeah.
I think I had dolls when I was 14. I was leaving school at 15.
And you still had the
And I
dolls.
still had my dolls, yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Life was so simple. In a way, it was simple then because we had nothing.
Yeah.
I think it's
A
less
great.
simple
It sounds
now.
like a greater innocence,
Yes.
and in some ways a purity. In the way that you're framing it, we're framing it, and I mean that
Yes.
positively, genuinely positively. Wow. And maybe we can bring that back. The simplicity, the innocence, the beauty, the purity of life. Simple pleasures.
One present,
Yeah.
not 50 for a child to open and just push them to one side.
It's sad. That,
No
isn't
value
it?
into sad.
That is sad.
For me, that's the sad part of Christmas now.
Yeah.
Because there's no gratitude, there's only expectations.
Well, we have the opportunity. I agree with what you're saying. We have the opportunity to be different, and we have the
Yes.
opportunity to bring meaning this Christmas. We're in the weeks leading up to Christmas now, the downhill to
Yes.
Christmas, to bring it back to something genuine and authentic and real, and bring meaning to it, and a real sense of togetherness, and remembering the story, and remembering hope, and remembering possibilities.
Remembering
linked.
what Christmas is.
Yes.
Christmas is nativity plays. Christmas is about Christmas. People don't know now what Christmas is. It's about baby Jesus being born to the child. So yes, so let's just bring Christmas back
Yeah,
and that magic.
yeah.
That's the best thing to do.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I think that's a lovely place to end that.
Yes.
Thank you for listening, everybody. That was a real mishmash this morning.
Yes.
Hopefully you stayed with us and you've enjoyed it. I got tongue-tied a couple of times and we've moved around subjects many times. Hopefully very interesting. I found it interesting.
Yes.
I always find it fascinating and interesting speaking with you, Anne, and I absolutely love hearing about your life, your childhood, growing up, your adult life. There's
Thank
so
you.
much wisdom and goodness and virtue. I learn so much, and I mean, I've said it so many times, but I learn so much from you, and I'm sure that everybody listening learns from you too. And I know what you've got to say, and your generation has never been needed more. So let's bring it back, and let's keep it alive, and let's spread it around the world.
Yes. Good.
Thank you, everybody. Well, have a wonderful Sunday. Have a wonderful week whenever it is that you are listening. And as always, we look forward to being with you and speaking with you again next week, next Sunday.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.